Hello, it is 7 o'clock on Tuesday, November 24th. And I just realized I think I did my project wrong. I worked on it from 10 a.m. till probably about 2, just, coloring and doing all fun stuff on it and doing the research in my notes. And then I got your email back and I realized I think I did it wrong when I thought I did it right. But I have a backup plan, it's just not going to be on my poster. So I'm first going to show you my poster and then I'm going to explain what's on it. And then I will explain my 6 course concepts and hopefully it'll kind of clear up some things. So yeah. So initially what I thought you wanted was the 4 different parenting styles along with some other teaching styles and programs that we talked about. I thought I could choose any and that then I could explain the good and the bad about them and how they help or not help children, basically. But I didn't see that it was only the good teaching and parenting. So what I'm going to do, since I don't really have another poster board or time to do a slideshow of only the good, I'm just going to verbally explain them since I already made the poster and just screwed it up. Okay, so here's my poster. There's only 5 on here, but I flip it over and there's some on the back as well. But I have authoritative parenting, authoritarian parenting, permissive indulgent parenting, permissive indifferent parenting, the Head Start programs, and then I also have the I don't even know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Montessori approach, which is her right there. And then I have the outcomes of the different parenting skills and the teaching approaches and programs. So this is my poster. I got some pictures and some funky colors on there because I know that children are drawn to funky colors. But yeah, so that's it. So I realized that was wrong. I didn't need to add the authoritarian, permissive indulgent, permissive indifferent because I know that those only create bad children and they are not good parenting skills. Because most of them either involve parents that are very strict, very, very strict, or parents that want to be their child's friend, or even parents that don't even pay attention to them. So I realized that was wrong, and I really can't take it off my poster, but I can try to explain the 6 other course concepts that I picked out of our notes. So here it goes. So number 1. My first good teaching and parenting concept that we've talked about was authoritative parenting. So this type of parenting is the ideal type of parenting. It involves appropriately being strict, but not too strict, but strict enough to where the children know that you are the adult and they are the child. You're reasonable and you're affectionate. You show love, you pay attention to them, and you're there. And you often allow for negotiation in the relationship between you and your child. The second good teaching and parenting style or program that I chose was the Head Start programs. They helped foster young children's school readiness skills. They delivered comprehensive early learning, health, nutrition, and family support services to these children. You start early, you start learning ideas and things early, and you grasp onto those at an early age. You have a better chance at understanding them later. My third approach for the good teaching and parenting would be the Montessori approach. This type of school will have a child-directed curriculum. Children do not need to be forced to learn. They are already interested. They come into school. They have hands-on, self-paced, collaborative, challenging, joyful learning. They are not set in an age group. They don't give homework. They don't give tests. And it's all just about the child and their learning and how fast or slow they need to go. Now, my fourth concept for good parenting would be monitoring your child's nutrition. Now, a child in this age group from 2 to 6 years would be intaking 15 calories a day, 30% fat, 60% carbs, 10% protein. They need to avoid high fat, high salt, overly processed foods, and the parent should know that. And some things that parents often do to help with these things and to help encourage eating is by giving creative food ideas, dressing up, packing their lunch and making them into hearts or stars, their fruit, stuff like that. Drinking lots of water, choices within limits of what they like. Not using food as a reward. That helps. Getting away from the TV, obviously, because when you're at the TV, you're bored, you want to eat. Trust me, I know. You shouldn't force them to clean their plate. You shouldn't have them sporadically eating. They should have a routine diet that is both healthy and balanced. The fifth would be a child's sleep routine. Now, a child around the age of 2 needs about 13 hours of sleep per day, naps included. Child of 6 years of age needs about 11 hours of sleep. And I know better than anyone that it's hard to get a young child put to sleep. I've babysat and I've watched kids, and they rarely ever want to go to bed when it is their time. And I don't know if it's just because I'm babysitting and they're taking an advantage, but it's just how it goes. Now, we learned about some of the things that children in this age group can go through, such as nightmares, night terrors, and there is a difference, bedwetting, stuff like that. And some of the good things that a parent can do is help them with a routine. They can put them to sleep at a regular time every single night. That way that they easily fall asleep and they know that it's bedtime. They get set in a routine, then it's easier for them to go right to bed. They also can participate in relaxing activities right before bed. No drinking, no eating right before bed, because that can cause bedwetting, stuff like that. So you want to, read a book, chill out, put pajamas on, watch a movie, just chill out before you go to bed, and don't get wound up, basically. And that will help with your child's sleep routine. Number 6, I can't put another finger up because I'm holding my phone, but this is number 6, and another good parenting concept would be for a child's motor development. Now, a child in this age group, I would think, wouldn't have a problem with moving or wanting to play or not. But non-moving parents create non-moving children, and I understand that. So what a parent needs to do to enhance a child's motor development in running or being active and stuff like that, they need to make it fun, encourage them to engage in a variety of activities such as little league sports, stuff like that. And they just need to create an environment that encourages movement and fine motor skills. You know, we need to teach our children that it is imperative that we move, and a child doesn't grow if a child doesn't move. I've said this since my first video, so that's what they need to do. Now, next up is my experience and the gaps. So I'm just gonna blend these two together. I'm an only child, and I come from a single parent household, and I feel like most of these things or expectations are kind of unreasonable for a single parent like my mother, such as the sleep or the nutrition. My mom worked 2 jobs when I was younger, and I was always at my grams, and it's just hard to expect all of this from one parent. And I feel like most of these concepts only address a 2-parent household. They only bring attention to it from a 2-parent household. It is very hard for my mom. It still is very hard for my mom to take care of me and all by herself. My dad was never around, and still really isn't around to this day. I only see him on holidays and Christmases, but she's always done it by herself, financially, emotionally, and she's always there, supporting, helping any way she can. I'm a first-generation college student, and I don't know, I just feel like most of these things that we learned about only generalized a 2-parent household, and I feel like that was wrong, and I feel like there should be standards and things that could help a single parent household raise their child to be just as good as a child that came from 2-parent household. Because to be honest, I think I turned out just as good, and if not better. So that is my experience and the gaps. Lastly, the thing that I have to talk about the most is what I think defines a good parent or a good teacher. This is also going to be coming from my experience. My mom was selfless. She gave everything that she had or ever needed or wanted to me. She put her needs before mine, or she put my needs before hers. And I was spoiled, and I also think a parent should be caring and compassionate, and I think they should be tough too. I think they should be strict, but reasonably strict, because if you hold on too tight, they're just going to rebel I've seen it happen to some of my friends. I also think they need to give a little leeway to the children that they're raising, because, like I said, if you hold on too tight, you're just gonna smother them and suffocate them, and they're not going to turn out or be as open to you with their feelings or their secrets or their frustrations. I think a good teacher should be open-minded. They should be frequently changing their teaching methods. And what I mean by that is, some people learn differently. Some people learn hands-on. Some people need to visually see it. Some people need to be talked through it. And not everybody learns the same way, and I think teachers need to appreciate that and to advocate for that. I also think teachers should be sympathetic. Personally, I went to a college called SUNY Oneonta in the fall of 2019, the year that I graduated, and my grandmother was in bad shape. It was almost like, I say this all the time, but we come from a bad heart family, and she was having trouble breathing, and she just ignored it for 2 weeks and whatnot. But I was stressing her out because I didn't like school and I hated it, and I wanted to come home. I miss my family. I'm come from a small family, and I don't know why I thought that I could do it, but I was 4 hours away. Whatever, that's majority of the story. And I always say that I broke her heart because she had to end up going to Syracuse for heart surgery, and it was just a terrible time in my life, and I couldn't do it, so I just left school. And I think that some schools need to be sympathetic to what people are going through and understand that school might not be the first thing that's on their mind, because it certainly wasn't on mine at that time. But yeah, that's my project. Those are my opinions, my experiences, and I'm very sorry that I messed up my project. I really don't think the poster was what you really wanted anyways. I think you just wanted to make sure that I understood what I was talking about, which I do. But yeah. Email me if you have any questions, and again, I'm really sorry. I hope this does not affect my grade, because I've been doing good in your class and I really can't afford it. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna eat all the mashed potatoes that I can. Bye.